I'm Summer Dash. Welcome to this Energy Extra, where we take a story from our newscast and go even more in depth online. Here's more from our talk with new Oak Ridge City Manager, Randy Hemann.
So often you need different perspectives coming in to complement what's already there, and it sounds like that's sort of what's happened with your prior experience.
I would definitely agree. I've focused my whole career on economic development type issues, got to build a baseball stadium in High Point, do some downtown development and a lot of those things. So, and even some tech type stuff. Was on a board called the Digital Engineering Institute in Mooresville that was looking at ways to advance digital engineering and make some connections between industries there and some of the resources that we had for digital engineering. So that's always been, in addition to providing good quality services, that's always been something that I've enjoyed, and there's certainly opportunity to do that here.
So you're saying we're getting a baseball stadium?
No, I'll be attending the Smokies games, and that looks like it's going to be a nice stadium.
The tour today, how'd it go? Anything there that surprised you when you were looking around?
Just the scope of it is just so enormous, and you can see it on the ground, but when you go up off the ridge and look at it, it's just enormous. And then you go down to see, ORNL, and I mean, it's just a vast complex, Yeah,
it's huge. And then moving forward, how do you, what do you think are some of your priorities, and have they changed at all now that you have gotten acclimated here?
A big priority for me will be to continue to listen to folks that work over at DOE. I am really interested in knowing, and this will sound a little corny, but to me it's very important that Oak Ridge create a great quality of life for folks that are doing important work for this country. And I know that sounds weird, but it's really the way I feel. And I'm interested in hearing more about, we've got fantastic schools, we've got fantastic parks and recreation. We lack the housing opportunities. I'm anxious to hear what other people want to see, whether it's retail, and I know that we need to develop a food scene and some bars and some things that would attract younger people. If you've got school-age kids, you're going to want to be here because of the school system is just so fantastic. But to listen to what does the community want and need, and then try to provide that is really going to be my focus, and always on continual service improvement. I think our staff here does a fantastic job, but there's always room to do more and better.
And you've got a lot of experience, it sounds like, with developing things that are more entertainment focused, like you mentioned, getting the social scene in the Oak Ridge area, making it a place they want to live here too. What do you see happening? What do you think?
It's interesting. I had a developer that I've worked with before that came down from Maryland a couple weeks ago, and he's just fascinated by the whole Oak Ridge history, and took him over to Jackson Square, had his picture taken in front of the We Win the War sign and all that, the Westcott picture. But we've got a unique situation here. We don't have the downtown. And I took him around, and it's like all of a sudden he had the epiphany. You don't have the traditional downtown because you were built in the age of the automobile, and really that's what makes us so different. So the challenge is, where do we create those centers of energy that would have the shopping, the retail, and all those things? And to me, there's multiple examples of where we can do that. You've got the Grove area, you've got the downtown where the old mall was, and Wilson Street, which will be a focus, and then you've got Jackson Square. And I think all three of those areas have the potential to develop even more into that kind of vibe. What I enjoy the most is when it comes down from, we've all seen the big pretty pictures of what could it look like, and we were talking about that earlier on the tour, but what I like to do is go down from that into actually what can we fit on the ground, and how does it create a walkable experience where you can go from one thing to the next, where it connects. We'll look at things like where should roads continue through and connect to, and how can we create synergy here and connect it to this and actually create a walkable area. So, and I think there's multiple places that you can do that in town. I think there's a lot of room around Jackson Square for some additional buildings, some mixed use, some more residential, some more restaurants that would even enliven that. I mean, it's already great. You've got some great restaurants there. The Playhouse is fantastic. The quality of productions here is really good. So there's a lot to build on there, but I think it needs more for critical mass. And I also think that that will create the place where younger people want to move here, that want to be able to walk to a coffee shop in the morning before they go to work, that kind of thing.